and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I'm so happy you're here. My name is Brittany and I cook all things gluten-free. So let's get in the kitchen and start cooking. Today in the kitchen, we're cooking up cinnamon French toast bread. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. In a medium to large bowl, we're going to mix up the ingredients. We don't want to use the KitchenAid mixer for this because we do not want to overmix this. I'm going to start with all the dry ingredients. 1.5 cups all-purpose flour, gluten-free, the Just About brand is what I'm using. 1/2 cup of sugar. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/3 cup of butter, and I'm going to put this in the microwave and melt it. While that is melting, I'm going to give this a light stir, and then we will add in the wet ingredients. I melted the butter in the microwave for about 30 seconds in the Pyrex measuring cup. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. 1/2 cup of milk. 1 egg. We're going to go ahead and stir this until it's just combined. It may be a little bit lumpy. Be careful and not to overmix because overmixing will ruin the texture of the finished bread loaf. Making this in a loaf pan helps it not to become a weird texture with this gluten-free flour. If you do put this in a muffin pan, this is when you have to be very careful about the overmixing because it will create a hard texture when it is cooked. As you can see, when you're stirring it around, it is still a bit lumpy, and that's okay. You just don't want to overmix. It's best to use a silicone spatula and stirring this. You want to just fold it in. I'm done mixing, and I'm gonna now pour it into the loaf pan. It's now ready to go into the oven. We're going to bake it for 30 minutes. I'm going to take it out of the oven and I'm going to check it with a toothpick by inserting it in and seeing if it comes out clean. Remove it from the loaf pan, and now we will work on the topping. In a small Pyrex bowl, add 1/2 cup of sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Mix that together. I'm going to use 1/2 cup of butter, and I'm going to place that in another small bowl and melt that in the microwave. Take the melted butter and drizzle some of it on top of the loaf. Using a silicone basting brush, take the rest of the butter and paint it all throughout the rest of the loaf. Once you have the loaf fully coated in the melted butter, take the cinnamon and sugar mixture and spread it throughout the loaf. You want to cover the entire top of the loaf. You may have some of the topping left over, and the extra topping, you can use that for dipping when you serve the loaf. When the cinnamon and sugar and melted butter come together, it will form a hardened up crust. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to get weekly updates on new gluten-free recipes. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I would be happy to answer any of your questions. The full recipe is in the description box down below. Enjoy, dinner is served. Thank y'all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know if you tried cinnamon French toast bread. See you next time in the kitchen.